It is Saturday, July 4th, and it's now time to put on some honey supers. We'll do an inspection to see if there's any problems in the hives. Should be all good, so let's get going. Alright, so as I stated earlier, we'll have a quick look at all the hives, see if there's eggs, etc. And pay close attention to find out whether or not there are swarm cells at the bottom of all the frames. And these will actually become useful since we'll be putting on some honey supers. Swiffer trap is empty. They've barely touched the pollen patty. I might just remove them. Let's have a look at the oil traps. Empty. It's barely been drawn. Filled with pollen and nectar. And more of the same. Oh, there's some brood on this one. And eggs. Pattern's a bit spotty. And that's probably because she had no other room to lay. No swarm cells at the bottom. Moving on. Plenty of brood. Again, there's a weird shotgun pattern. I see some brood on its way to be capped, but I see some, I think what's called chalk brood. When the person from the Ministry of Agriculture comes and does the inspection, I'll ask her some questions about that. Looks okay, not great, but okay. There was again some mummified brood, so I'm a bit worried. Quite a bit of nectar, and the rest is empty. So this hive is not ready for a honey super. We'll close it back up and leave them as is. Now, I brought these ventilated board sections. It will help keep the hive cool during hot days. And a bit of screen on corrugated plastic so that they don't start building a mess inside the ventilation part. So that's it. Unfortunately, they are not strong enough yet to have a honey super. But we'll see in a week. Alright, let's see how the red hive is doing. No beetle in the Swiffer trap. Well, they're on the last frame. They're doing better than the marble hive. It's on its way to being drawn. It's good news. Oh, this is heavy. Filled with eggs. A bit of honey. A bit of pollen. Some nectar. Pretty much the same on the other side. That's very, very good. Covered in capped brood on both sides. Reddy's doing really well. Lots of resource and a bit of brood on this frame. See some eggs and really young larvae. All in all, good news. Let's look at the other frames, see if there's any swarm cells. Covered in brood. And pretty much the same thing. Lots of nectar, pollen, and, well, young bees. These are doing very, very well. They're probably ready for honey super. Let's see how silver is doing. Judging from the amount of bees, it might be strong enough for super. I'll have a look inside just to confirm it. Beautiful. Covered in pollen, a bit of brood. It's covered in brood. Well, this looks like a resource frame, covered in mostly pollen with a bit of brood in the middle. Solid sheet of brood. Looking great. Oh yeah, look at this. Filled with eggs on this side and nectar on the other. The last frame is just starting to be drawn. So I think they're about to get strong enough for honey super as well. I'll give them one. Let's close them back up and move on to the purple hive. Let's move on to purple. Hey, I did not forget to press record this time. Let's check oil trap number 2. Empty as well. This one's coming along pretty nicely, on this side at least, and it's filled with mostly nectar. There's some brood in there, and a lot of food reserves. Covered in eggs, and they have a lot of room still. I don't think they're about to swarm. There's more than enough room for the queen to lay, and they're very healthy. Let's have a look at a few more frames and close them back up, because they're great actually. I'll give them a super if I see they're struggling to fill it next week. I'll remove it. But they look like they're on the verge of needing one. Alright, let's have a look at the green and blue hives. Looking good. Still no trace of small hive beetle. Oh, there's one in the trap here. It looks like a small black dot inside the trap. So we saw one beetle so far. Partially drawn. Some nectar reserves. Looking beautiful. Filled with eggs. This thing is packed and looking good. Yeah, we'll give them more room and move a frame of brood in that space. Yeah, it's covered in capped brood still, so we'll go give them some room. And I made a mistake. Took the frame of brood I wanted to put in this box and put it back in. Now the reason I want to put a frame of brood in the new box, it will basically force them to realize, hey, there's more space. So we take this frame that has some brood on it and place it in this box. Put this frame back in. Well, let's flip it to encourage them to draw both sides. Put the beetle trap in. The Swiffer trap. And finally, the box. This is looking pretty good. It's now time to move to the blue hive. Last we saw, the virgin for the blue hive failed in a mating flight and never returned. I got a replacement queen again, and we put her in on the following day. It was rainy, so I did not bother filming it. So today we're going to see if she started laying eggs. Let's get into it. No beetle. I love good news. Wow, that's heavy. This thing is filled to the brim with nectar and capped honey. They've started drawing this one. Now the question is, are there any eggs? Not on this side. No. No eggs on this frame. Looks like the brood I gave them emerged, at least partially. But I see no eggs. Okay, well, let's have a look at the bottom chamber. Pretty much untouched. I see queen cells again. No eggs. They're pretty calm. I'm going to try and look without a fail because my glasses are soaked in sweat and I have a hard time seeing the inside of the cells. So let's be prudent and smoke them. I see no eggs. I hope they did not reject the queen. Oh, I see some older larvae. There are eggs. Yes! That means the queen was here within 3 days. I'll put my veil back on and close them up. The blue hive is in need of help still. She just started laying. What I'm going to do is put the queen excluder between the two hives. So with this queen excluder, it will ensure the queens stay in their respective hives, while the workers will be able to mingle and equalize, giving a boost to the blue hive. And for that, I have something special prepared. Well, it looks to be going pretty good. The marbled hive is not quite as far along as the other 4. Blue is on our way to recovery. So all in all, I'd say it's going pretty well. I'll keep you posted. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.